there are some good things about Meet Me Next Christmas, but the narrative is not one of them. I will talk about the positives. I will also talk about why the narrative is just absolutely ridiculous. This was released in 2024, this year. It's directed by Rusty Cundieff, and it's written by Molly Haldeman and Camilla Rubis, and it stars Christina Milian as Layla and Devale Ellis as Teddy. And the benefits, first of all, or the positives, very Christmassy, very festive, a lot of beautiful costumes, gorgeous lights, absolutely something that could get you in the Christmas spirit. The performances are very good as well. The narrative isn't. At the start of the film, Layla is at an airport and she meets James. And fortunately or unfortunately, Layla is in a relationship at that time. And James says, if for whatever reason you're single, I'm single, next year we can meet at the Pentatonix concert. And Layla's a big fan of Pentatonix, so chances are she was going to be there. And then immediately in the next scene or the scene after, Layla finds out that her partner was cheating and now she is single and it's in the time for the Pentatonix concert. And then I thought, well, that's just absolutely stupid for two reasons. One, even if you have a ticket to a concert, you don't know where the other person is going to sit. So the odds of you going in there and seeing them, very, very minuscule. Second of all, you've got just as much chance, maybe even more chance, of seeing them if you wait outside the venue, and for that you don't need a ticket. So you don't need a ticket, you can wait outside the venue, you can watch the doors. Certainly for venues, there's usually only one door going in and out, unless you've got VIP or something. I know exits are a bit different depending on the concert or the venue. So I don't know why she thought she'd need to get a ticket, because she had more chance of standing outside watching the doors. So honestly, it's not very well thought out. It was just absolutely stupid as a concept. I thought it was really ridiculous. And I don't know this for a fact, but it basically just seems like somebody wanted to write a film featuring the Pentatonix, and they didn't really care about the quality of the narrative surrounding it. Because basically what happens is Layla has to use a concierge service because the concert is sold out. So she has to get this service to help her find a ticket. And in doing so, she meets Teddy. Teddy is a very likeable character. Layla, I wouldn't say Layla's unlikable, but I didn't care for her. And I think that's largely because I just thought she was an absolute idiot for thinking she could buy a ticket, go into the concert, and then she would just find James. Even if she were to ask them to make a grand announcement on stage, she'd still have as much chance of waiting outside the venue for him anyway. So I just thought it was very poorly thought out, very badly written. The character writing is okay, the performances are quite good, and the Christmas aspect is very strong. So it's not a good film. If you're a Pentatonix fan, you might like that aspect. I feel like it was written, again, I don't know this for a fact, but I feel like it was just written by somebody who wanted to have a film with the Pentatonix, and they didn't really care about the accuracy or believability of the narrative. And unfortunately, that's very, very obvious if that is the case. And if that's not the case, it's still pretty terrible. So not a good narrative, doesn't work very well as a concept, but the festive aspect is good. Teddy is very likeable, and the performances across the board are very strong. Do I recommend it? If you can look past the fact that the narrative is very weak and nonsensical, maybe. But personally, I just found it to be very irritating. And while I enjoyed the festive aspect, I thought the narrative was very badly executed, very predictable, and ultimately not something that I enjoyed.